Hey everybody, and welcome to Lead Page Packages. We are in Module 4, and so Module 4 is this session on packaging, and then the next session will be on your mock project. So let's get started. Now, this is just to give you ideas of how to take the new knowledge that you have and actually offer it as a service to clients by packaging your services instead of going hourly. Now, one of the things you may have to do when you first start is you may need to do hourly just to get an idea of how long it takes you to do things. And then you can package things up. So we're just going to review Packaging 101. If you've watched any of my other videos on any of my other tech training, the packaging is the same. It's the same rules. So you can package anything if you can quantify it. So a lot of this may be review, but we'll actually dive down and to look at different ideas for how you could package lead pages, which is structuring templates and processes and then tips and tricks. So really this is the same in each of the different techie programs. The difference is the structure of the packages. So if you can quantify it, you can package it. Quantify, quantify, quantify. And details are key for packaging, okay? So you have to be very detailed what's included. You can even say what's not included if you want. I mean, you can even go that far. You always need to include the cost and the time. Remember, a package is not the same as a retainer. And in this VA industry, there's no standards for terminology, which drives me nuts. A retainer is a bucket of hours. Client pays you or gives you $200 for 5 hours of your time, right? Then they dictate how those hours are used. A package, you're not paying for time, you're paying for expertise because you're buying a package on lead pages, or you're buying a package on Infusionsoft, or you're buying a package on a specific technology. So a package, you dictate what is included and the cost. Clients buy it, they know what they get at the end of the day and for how much. There's no surprises, okay? So always include cost and timeline. You always need to have a signed contract for every package that you do. Just as important when you have a retainer package or you're invoicing clients, any work that you do, you need to have a contract. You can't package something you've never done before because you don't know how long it's going to take, nor do you know how long it's going to take to get the whole thing done. So obviously working in here, I really recommend that you time yourself on doing maybe the mock project so you can get a gist of how long it takes you to do things, because we all work at different speeds. And make sure that you're getting paid for your expertise, not your time. There's nothing wrong with getting paid for your time because you are doing work during that time, but it's a perception. For some reason, people seem to want to pay less for time than they do for expertise, even though really it's the same thing. So some ideas of packaging, right? These are all the different landing pages that are available within lead pages. Sales, opt-in, webinar, thank you, upsell, launch, pre-cart. I mean, and there's custom pages. Realize that every page is going to take different amount of time. So if you just have a generic landing page package, make sure that you understand that a sales page is going to take you longer than an opt-in page because sales pages are long and huge. So just realize that there's a difference really between the templates that are used as well. So you could have a sales page package, you could have an opt-in package, you could have a webinar package. Now, every one of these should include a thank you page as part of the package because you want to get them to be redirected. A lot of times an opt-in page and a sales page will also include an upsell page, right? There are pre-cart pages, which is a different kind of upsell. There are launch pages. So you need to realize that each one of these pages sometimes include other pages. And depending on the template they choose, right, depends on how long it's going to take you to get it done. My point is it's not going to be cut and dry like it is with some of the other packaging that you do because of the templates. So for instance, any package that you do, you always want to include what's included. Are you setting up the program from scratch? Are you setting up the page? Are you editing a page? Are you adding branding? Obviously, if that's the case, you need their colors or logos. You need to test it. Anytime you do any type of work for clients, you always have to test it, especially when it comes to working with landing pages because you're integrating it usually with maybe a webinar platform or you're integrating it with something else. You need to make sure that the whole cycle works. And you need to quantify the number of everything. How many pages are you doing? Okay, well, if you're doing, a lot of times you could do a group page, excuse me, a group package. You could do the sales page, the opt-in page, and the thank you page, all as one package. Because think about it. When you sell something, you usually have a webinar to sell it, and then you need a thank you page for both of those. So that could actually be one package. So you have to think about it from a business perspective. What is the client going to need? Well, they're going to need a sales page. If they need a sales page, they probably need an opt-in page. And if they need an opt-in page, they probably need a thank you page as well. And do they need an upsell page? So you need to think on your feet to help them decide what is the best package. So make sure you quantify the number of pages, the number of changes. So for instance, a change of text or graphics is one thing, but if they change the template, that's something else because the whole thing starts over, right? And what type of integrations? Is there an integration just to GoToWebinar and just to MailChimp? And if you're setting up GoToWebinar integrations, is that webinar already set up or is that part of something you need to do? So this all needs to be very clear. Always include the details, quantify everything, a la carte items. So if you package something with X number of pages and X number of changes and they want additional pages, they would go to your a la carte item, just like a menu, right? Just like when you go out for dinner and you want something off the a la carte menu, it costs you more money because it's just one. And all packages are fixed prices, okay? So the client knows how much they're paying and they know exactly what they're getting. So a basic package, again, ideas here to get the kind of the blood flowing, if you will, could be one sales page, right? A basic package is one sales page, one template, and then you have to either help them find the template or you find it, but you need to have an average of how long you think it's going to take you to do the sales page because some are really content heavy, others are not. Some are webinar or video based, some are all copy, right? Adding your branding or adding their branding, an integration to one thing, MailChimp or GoToWebinar. Testing the whole thing to make sure that it works and then publishing it. Now you could publish it on lead pages. So in other words, there's nothing else to do but hit publish, or you could publish it on Facebook or WordPress, but be very clear about that. So that's one basic package. Realize that when people need a sales page, they're also probably going to need a thank you page, right? Now, whether the thank you page is in lead pages or on their website, that's a given, okay? A premium package could be, there you go, a sales page, an opt-in page, and a thank you page. So everything, and I just called it premium. You can call it whatever you want to. These are just names. They're branding, 2 integrations. So there's an integration to GoToWebinar and one to MailChimp, for instance. Testing it and then publishing it on WordPress and Facebook as well as in lead pages. So it's in multiple locations, okay? Then your a la carte items are the one-offs. So any additional landing pages. So for instance, the premium was 3. What if they need 4? What's the price for one landing page? Well, it depends on the landing page, right? Is it a sales page? Is it a thank you page? Is it an opt-in page? They all take different amounts of time. And let's face it, your time still goes into creating these things. So you have to account for that when you do your pricing. Additional integrations. So they want to go to MailChimp. Maybe they also want to go to GoToWebinar. And then maybe they want to do a lead link, or maybe they do want to do a lead digit, right? They want to do some texting, right? Maybe they want to do some split testing, okay? And again, maybe they want you to publish on more than one place, not just in lead pages, but maybe over on my WordPress site too, okay? So you have to think about all the different things that you can do in lead pages. Another a la carte items, I said, could be a lead page, a lead link, and a lead box. Those could all be individual items as well. So I have a lead box package. Create one custom lead box, right? Customize it, which means branding, integrate it, and then test it to make sure that it works. Simple package. A la carte, again, additional lead boxes, A/B testing, publishing, adding additional lead links or lead digits. So those could all be things. Now, lead links and lead digits aren't as popular as a lead box and a lead page, but you could still add those, and you can also upsell for that. You're like, oh, do you want to use texting to really get people to get on to your webinar? Think about lead digits. And then you can do custom packages. You can set the whole thing up from the ground up. You could add additional integrations, set up additional integrations. You could create a roadmap for them to understand how all of lead pages works and how the different ways that they could use it. So for instance, a sales page could go to the shopping cart, which would go to the thank you page, and an opt-in page would go to a thank you or demo. So there's some different things. You've got a shopping cart in there, but your shopping cart could also be an email marketing. So a lot of times clients may not understand exactly the flow of how things work. So you could help them with that. And that could be a customized package. So you work with them on the flow and whether or not they need a launch page and an upsell page. I mean, you could work with them on that. Okay, remember, your expertise comes to play here. So average prices, and these are average, these are not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. Probably should add that to this slide. They are not guaranteed, right? Landing pages, $250 and up. Depends on the complexity of the page. Obviously, a thank you page is not the same as a sales page. Okay, so you have to take that into account. Lead boxes, $75, right? Customize. And I'm not talking about just creating it. I'm talking about doing the integrations and the testing and all the things that go with it, right? And then lead links and lead digits, $50 and up, right? Again, with the testing. So it kind of gives you a ballpark. So how are your lead page skills? If they're not great, you're still not working on it, then take time to play in here and really kind of get it under your belt. And I invite you to go back and watch the lead pages modules and try different ones. I used a specific one. Well, go in and try a launch page and go in and try an upsell page. Understand each of the different templates so you have had your feet wet, so to speak. You know, you may be comfortable doing specific things. Maybe you're not comfortable with lead boxes. And maybe you don't want to offer those. Remember, you can pick and choose what you want to do. But if you don't want to turn away work, I would recommend that you offer everything that Lead Pages does. Okay, it's important to know how long it takes. Feel free to time yourself. Use your task management system to time yourself as you do these things in the sandbox. Start small. Do a simple package. Do a basic package. As your skills increase, your packages can increase as well. And you can always do custom packages for clients as well. So if you are going to write the copy and do the video editing and then do the lead pages, that's great. Those are 3 different sets of expertise, so they need to be priced accordingly. Always include on what type of page, number of page, what kind of testing are you doing? What are the integrations? How much branding? What's the price? Where are you publishing? So again, all the things that you can do in lead pages. And so when you create your packages, make sure you take a look at the system to make sure that you're covering everything. Like I said, if somebody's doing an opt-in page, they're probably going to need a thank you page. If someone's doing a sales page, well, they're probably going to do a webinar, so they're probably going to need an opt-in page too. A lot of it just makes sense. Quantify everything. Remember, different templates will take different amounts of time. Sales page is going to take more than an opt-in page. Be careful of terms. In other words, you may have to explain things to clients because they don't understand the terminology, which is perfectly acceptable. I mean, that's how it is. Make sure that responsibilities are clear. If the client is providing you the video copy or the video or the copy, make sure that's clear. Make sure there's a deadline as to when they get you the information you need so you can create the lead page, right? ASAP is not a deadline. Got to have a hard, fast date. And always, always have a signed contract with a list of the deliverables. What exactly is the package delivering? What are you doing at the end of the day? What are they paying you for? Well, you're getting three lead pages, 1 lead link, and 1 lead box, and that kind of stuff. The prices, the date, and who purchases extra. So if they want content written for them, who purchases that? Or if they want to use a premium template, who purchases that? Because remember, there's free templates, there's premium templates. Be sure that that's covered, okay? And here's your pricing tips. This is the same in everything. Calculate your package price using time by rate plus 5% becomes your package rate. So it's so important for you to understand how long it takes you. So you need to track your time and task price correctly. So I invite you to go back through the modules and track your time as you do a lead page, as you do a sales page, right? As you do an opt-in page to get yourself an idea of how long it takes. Okay? Remember, there's a process for each type of package you offer, because how do clients contact you about your lead pages, right? How do they know what you do and what you offer? What does that look like? Okay, things to consider. Is there a planning session included? Well, probably not a bad idea to have some type of chat with them to understand what they need and how you can make sure that they have everything that they need. Because remember, a lot of times business owners look to you to fill in the blanks of their knowledge. So it helps if you understand the roadmap, if you will, of how a lead page works. You're right, lead pages are for purchasing or gathering information, and the information is either sent to a shopping cart or it's sent to an email marketing list, right? How do prospects contact you about your packages? And by the way, if you have packages in Infusionsoft and lead pages, the process can be the same. It's just tweaked for the package. Okay? You don't have to recreate the wheel. Make sure that you have your task management system and make sure clients understand how you communicate status, right? Because they're paying you a lump sum. And whether they're paid up front for all of it or it's half at the beginning and half at the end, that's up to you. But if you do have a planning session or a discovery session, make sure that you include details. number of items, who provides content, pricing, and I cannot stress that enough, how many changes are allowed and the type of changes, right? Adding a logo or changing a logo is not the same as changing a template, okay? And deadlines. Okay, so the templates that you're going to need, and remember, you can already have these templates in place for another package. You just need to tweak them for lead pages. Just make a copy of them and change the verbiage. So your statement of work or contract or agreement, whatever you want to call it, your prospect questionnaire or web form, the planning documents. For each of the packages that you have, you should have a questionnaire, right? For each of the packages that you offer to make sure that they're all mapped out. Rinse and repeat. And have a task management template. Like if you use Teamwork, you can have a template. So every time you have a new project for a new client, you could just clone it. You don't have to recreate the wheel. As always, you need a task management system. If you don't have one, find one. Teamwork is part of the training here. If you're in the VA school, you can definitely access the training for Teamwork. I recommend that you do that or find one that works for you. The best advice I can give you about task management is find one that you don't fight with, because if you fight with it, you won't work with it. And there's plenty of great ones out there. And make sure you have your cloud storage, right? And your email, all that good stuff set up. Okay, so what I'd love for you to do is draft a package for a landing page, pick your landing page, and an opt-in form, okay? Or what I would call a lead link, or lead box. I guess I could change it to lead box. And then draft your processes. If you've already drafted your processes before in a previous homework, you can still use that, but draft it more specifically for this, because there are different questions, because it's a different program. Infusionsoft and Lead Pages are two different things, but you can use the process for both. Okay, feel free to share. So hopefully this has given you some ideas. Feel free to click on the help button in the upper right-hand corner for any questions. Send us an email, post over in Facebook, or leave a comment below. Thank you. And the next module, we'll talk to you about bringing it all together in a mock project. See you later. Bye.